Hi everyone, this is Taryn from Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and today I'm working on a framed art piece for my grandfather. I really enjoy creating my Christmas gifts, so this year I decided I would ask all my family members for their favorite verse or hymn. Today I'll be using a bunch of the stamp sets and products from the True North kit that By the Well for God released back in September. I'm creating this background by using some tea dye and frayed burlap colored distress oxide inks. So I just brushed that on, and then I used the C map stamp from the True North kit and just used that as a background stamp. So here I am using the Wave Stencil, also from the same kit, and I am just using some grit paste and some different colored distress oxides. Obviously I'm going to start with white where the bubbles would be on the wave, and then I'll progressively get darker as I go down the stencil. I want to have a good amount of layers on this page, so I take a distress tag and I'm going to stamp this lighthouse on it. I'll just use the VersaFine ink, and then I will watercolor it in with my Distress Oxide colors. I'm going to take the grit paste again here and just make some foam in the water. I actually find I like using my fingers for this technique with the grit paste, and so that's what I end up choosing to do. I'm going to end up grabbing my favorite color, frayed burlap, and I'm going to use that all around the edges, and it'll just help distress the tag, but also make it stand out from some other things that are close to that color on the page. I'm getting low on one of my favorite fabrics, which is this one right here. It is like a herringbone kind of print, but it is a burnt orange, and it's just different, and I love it. So I'm going to add that to my page just to add a different color. So I took out the roses and wheels stamp set, and I just picked out a wheel that I liked. And I stamped it in the VersaFine and then added some clear embossing powder because I am working on watercolor paper. I find when I work on this kind of paper, the Distress Oxides kind of bleed or seep past the ink lines if I don't use an embossing. So this is what I'm doing, and then I'm just using a little craft knife to get all those little tiny pieces out because I don't want it to just be stark white against the page. And as you can see just above here, I did find this cute little vintage photo of this little boy in a sailor's hat. And it was from the Maggie Holmes Heritage Collection. She has one of her papers that's a 12 by 12 that's just a bunch of old vintage photos. And it was just a little sliver of a picture, but I thought it would be perfect for this page. I am just stamping out the title, which is God Be With You, which is just the title of the hymn. But I'm using the Ruth Alpha from By the Well for God. So my grandpa picking this hymn has kind of a funny story. He told me that his favorite hymn was God Be With You, and so I immediately went to my hymn book that I use for crafting and looked it up in the back, and it said it was in the hymn book, which I had never heard of this hymn before, but I did look it up on YouTube and it looked like a great hymn. So I go to the page that it's supposed to be on my hymn book, and it's not there. And I only used my hymn book for hymns that I know because I'm doing a page for it. Well, the one time that I used a hymn that was just for like filler paper in one of my Bible journaling pages, the one time, I've only done that once, I ripped out this hymn apparently because I was like, oh, I don't know this hymn. I'll never use it. It's that one. It's God Be With You. And so it was just so funny. I had still a couple pieces of the hymn page, so I ended up using that in this page for my grandfather. But I just knew I had to do this hymn because it was the one time that I used the hymn when I didn't know the song. And out of there's 500 hymns in this hymn book that I have. So it was just crazy to me that that's the one that I had chose before. So I ended up using just the scraps I had left on this page. So I'm going to use this Dina Wakley spray. It is in the color Mineral and it is one of my favorite colors I have of her gloss sprays. I always try to remind myself when using the gloss sprays that usually less is more for me. And so just trying to remind myself for these framed arts because I know they'll be hanging up, and so I want to make sure that I don't go crazy. But I end up taking one of the verses of the hymn to my typewriter and typing it out on this little card. The verse that I decided to type out says, "Beneath his wings securely hide you, daily manna still provide you. God be with you until we meet again." So I'm just laying everything out, and then I'm going to take that hymn and just distress it just a little bit with the frayed burlap again, just because it looked too cream compared to everything else on the page. And I'll just start using my ATG gun and just laying that down. Then to complete the page, I will just add a couple black Nuvo drops and that'll do. If you've liked this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and go ahead and follow me over on Instagram at Wonderfully Made Handcrafting. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks. Bye.